Take a close look at these two videos. One took me hours of manual keyframing and rendering 850 individual frames in Chaos Vantage. The other? It was generated in seconds using just 10 input images. Today, we are diving deep into Kling 2.6. We are not just making random clips, we are going to master AI video generation. We will start with simple interior transitions, move on to complex physics simulations, and finally, we will attempt to fully recreate a professional 3ds Max project using only AI to see if we can save 99% of our render time. Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. Interior design. We have a rendering of a living room and we want to animate it being furnished. Give the AI as little room to hallucinate as possible. To achieve this, we rely on the start and end frame function. First, we need our assets. I used NanoBanana Pro to generate a rendering of the empty room to serve as our start frame. By the way, if you want to use the exact prompts I'm using in this video, or the ones from my previous NanoBanana Pro tutorials, make sure to join our community Discord. The link is in the description. Upload the empty room as the start frame. Upload the furnished room as the end frame. Disable the audio function. It just costs unnecessary credits. We leave the other settings as they are. Enter our prompt and hit generate. Look at that. The result is super clean and definitely much more engaging than a static image. Now, let's set the mood with lighting transitions. This time, we are using only the start frame. We set the day shot as the start, and with a simple prompt, Kling calculates the transition to a night scene. We get a perfect time-lapse of the lighting changing from day to night. But we can also use this to bring static images to life. Let's take this rendering. We want to animate the shadows of the leaves. For this, we only use a start frame and give the AI some creative freedom. It works well, but it's a bit subtle. I want more life. I want the curtains to move and the indoor plants to sway. So, let's tweak the prompt to specifically ask for wind movement in curtains and plants and try again. Now that looks super realistic. It instantly creates a captivating atmosphere. Next up, the hardest part for any AI, people. Let's start with a standard living room render. Our goal is to have a person walk naturally into the scene. We use just one frame here and let Kling handle the rest. It actually nails it. The rendering feels alive immediately and evokes emotion. Now, let's try something more complex. A time-lapse of a family living in the space. This gives such a cool effect for storytelling. Finally, let's revisit our 3D isometric floor plan. I want to add life here too. To prevent Kling from spawning people out of thin air, I used NanoBanana Pro to pre-position a person in the living room and one in the kitchen in the source image. With the right prompt, Kling understands that these are characters that need to move. The animation looks clean and very professional. Now for the creative stuff. Animating the furniture itself. I used NanoBanana Pro to generate two different interior styles. Style switch. We use style A as start and style B as end. The transition is seamless, and because we use matching frames, you can loop these clips endlessly to show off different design options. Fly-in effect. We want furniture to drop in from above. In this case, I used Nano Banana Pro to create the starting frame where the furniture is floating in the air. With the right prompt, the furniture flies in place perfectly. Slide-in effect. Same principle. Start empty, end furnished. The furniture slides into place. Falling down. This time I wanted real gravity. I tested 2 prompts, one descriptive, one technical. The technical prompt gave me a much better result. It looks incredibly cool for an Instagram reel. The chaos effect. Let's make the furniture vanish into thin air. This is great for storytelling. You show the old furniture dissolving, then cut to the new furniture appearing. Before we get to the final project, we need to talk about camera controls. Since you are only giving one input frame, asking the AI to move the camera often leads to hallucinations. Let's run through them. Pan. Kling struggles here. The geometry often breaks. Tilt. High hallucination on details. Boom. Creates glitches. Kling didn't really understand what I wanted. Truck. This actually works quite well and looks usable. Dolly in, dolly out. These are the winners. Kling handles depth very well here. My recommendation? Whenever possible, rely on start and end frames rather than just camera prompts to keep your geometry stable. And now, the final boss. Some time ago, I created a full animation reel using Chaos Vantage. Today, I want to see if Kling can recreate it to save render time. I rendered only the start and end frames of each shot from 3ds Max. Shot 1, dolly in plus moving sun. The challenge here is the changing light. With the correct prompt, Kling nailed the sun movement on the first try. Shot 2, truck shot plus time-lapse. Again, moving sun and camera movement. I had to paint over a small detail because Kling's safety filter triggered, but the sun movement came out super realistic. Shot 3, focus pull. This is tricky. We want to start focused on the wall and shift focus to the dining area. I described this in the prompt and Kling delivered perfectly. That is fascinating. Shot 4 and 5. Simple truck and another dolly in with sun time-lapse. Kling handled them without issues. If you compare my manual Chaos Vantage animation side by side with the Kling AI version, you can barely tell the difference. I only had to provide 10 frames to Kling. I saved the rendering time of 850 frames. For me, this is an absolutely acceptable result, and I will definitely be integrating Kling 2.6 into my professional workflow. If you want to try this yourself, remember that all the prompts I used today are available in the community Discord. Thanks for watching, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one.